Neopian lore, what we got in store. Talking about the things that we love and adore. We're all over 20, right? We stay indoors and play this game. And love this game. Sometimes hate this game. But let's all talk about Neopian lore. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome to episode 18 of Neopian Lore. Today, we're going to talk about the several appearances of coconuts on the website. Picture this. You want to work on filling out your stamp album, so you thumb through your book and come across your blank evil coconuts page. You think, those designs are pretty cool. So you look them up on the shop wizard or the trading post and immediately close your laptop after seeing the price tags. Those evil coconuts derive from one shady game. And the guy running it, Leroy, well, let's just say I'd check to see if you still have your wallet as you leave his stand. I'll try to be as accurate as possible and attempt to pronounce all names correctly, but keep in mind, this world is fictional and this is all just for fun. I'm your host, Krista Poyman. Now let's cozy up to some nostalgia. Deep within the haunted woods lies a spooky old fairground. It looks like it might have been a lot of fun before something drove everyone away. The deserted fairground is a delightful place to visit on a day off. You've got the Wheel of Misfortune to prove how unlucky you are, test your strength to show how feeble your arms are, and the castle knocks to recognize how weak your constitution is. It's a grand old time. And to finish off your day, why not head to the Coconut Shy booth to lessen yourselves of Neopoints and pride? Upon entering, you see a jovial yet disheveled sickly green Quiggle, wearing a dirty white t-shirt, striped Carnival pants that match his booth, and a wart and crooked teeth that are hard to ignore. He says,
"Hit those nails in harder. You don't want to. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Hello and welcome to the Haunted Woods Fairground Coconut Shy. Just 100 of your finest Neopoints get you a throw. Knock down a coconut and win 10,000 Neopoints plus a very special and exclusive prize. Come on, don't be shy."
The game mechanics are simple. Aim with your mouse and left click to throw. There are 5 coconuts to choose from, which vary in height and color, though it's entirely random which one, if any, are winners. Unfortunately, there is no magic pixel to increase your odds. Though a classic spot for many is lining up your cursor with the first A in the word again when the text box Play Again pops up. That way you can quickly cycle through your daily 20 plays and get your shame over with.
You've had your lot.
Even though Flash was discontinued and the game is yet to be converted, you can still play one of 2 ways. You can use a browser extension, such as Ruffle, to play the original game, or you can use a direct link which shows an unformatted result text, which is provided down in the show notes. Prizes are as follows. You miss, 0 Neopoints. You hit but it doesn't move, 50. You hit but it wobbles, 300. If it falls down, 10,000 Neopoints and a random evil coconut, with the exception of 4, which are prizes elsewhere. If it's your first time knocking one down, you also receive an avatar with a silent evil coconut on it. In very rare cases, the coconut will explode, granting you not only an evil coconut, but also 500,000 Neopoints. As said earlier, the coconuts can go into your stamp album. However, according to Jelly Neo, it will cost at least 13 million Neopoints, and that doesn't even include the flaming evil coconut, which was last listed at 270 million in 2021. The reason is the flaming evil coconut was a Lenny Conundrum prize. If you don't remember the Lenny Conundrum, it was the site competition where you had to solve puzzles, riddles, and math problems, but has been discontinued since 2013. Perhaps someday we may see a comeback of both the Lenny Conundrum and the Flaming Evil Coconut. If you do manage to fill out the entirety of your Evil Coconut stamp page, you are awarded an avatar for your pain. So it's common knowledge that carnivals are rigged. It wouldn't be a good business model for every customer to win, right? Even though Leroy does say,
Everyone's a winner.
"Excuse me, Leroy, I don't feel like a winner. Every time I hear you giggle after hitting the coconut and it doesn't fall down, a little of me dies inside." You hear that? Pure torture. Ugh, make it stop! There is an Easter egg you can find when Leroy specifically kicks his leg up and laughs. If you click on his left eye, our right, during this move, a blonde man with an orange shirt holding 2 coconuts will appear on screen. This is Ollie, an old TNT member, also known as the Phantom Orange Shirt Guy, due to him often sporting an orange shirt at work. He was a programmer who made a lot of the games on the site, including the Altador Cup, Attack of the Gummy Dice, and of course, Coconut Shy. The Neopets Coconut Shy is based on a real-life game by the same name. The shy in this context means to toss or throw. The origins of the game are unclear, but there is a photo of Coconut Shy dating back to the 1890s. 5 coconuts were balanced on poles, and typically you bought 3 balls to throw. For every coconut you knocked over, you won it as a prize, as coconuts were seen as exotic and highly sought after. Now, Leroy has done a terrible job of hiding the fact his game is rigged, loudly telling an employee or intern to
Put the nails in harder.
and has been seen in the caption contest nailing a coconut to a post. And in a different image, our boy Leroy even tried to use a giant cabbage once instead of a coconut. Not exactly sure what that was all about. Perhaps it was meant to be a distraction or attempt to rebrand to Cabbage Shy, since cabbages are typically cheaper than coconuts. Imagine, evil cabbages. I'm game. But I doubt it was a real cabbage, because I'm talking bigger than Leroy big. That would have been worth a ton of Neopoints, and you just know he would have sold that in the auctions for millions instead of using it for his game. TNT denies these claims against Leroy as, quote, "Rigged? What in Neopia makes you think that poor Quiggle has rigged his own game? We mean, just because he has a hammer behind his back and you see an occasional nail fly out when you knock down a coconut." Oh, he must be sliding TNT Neopoints on the side. It just smells of corruption. Rigging carnival games is not a Neopian invention. Other carny tricks for this game include using fake coconuts and putting weights inside, having the balls or beanbags filled with cork to make them lighter, or stacking the coconuts against a backdrop so they're more likely to right themselves back on the post instead of falling over. The game Coconut Shy was celebrated in the 1944 music hall song, "I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts." And wouldn't you know it, if you refresh the Neopets Coconut Shy page enough, Leroy actually sings a few lines from the iconic song.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Do-do-do-do-do. Here they are a-standing in a row. Do-do-do-do-do. Big ones, small ones, ones as big as your head.
I'm just surprised he doesn't sing the lyric,
"Every ball you throw will make me rich."
'cause he's not a subtle man. He knows, we know, he's a con artist. Leroy made a brief appearance in the Tale of Woe plot, where the protagonist, Gilly, was seeking help identifying a locket. She visited 4 carnies, Leroy included, and received responses such as,
Amazing. I haven't seen such metalwork in, must be 10 years. Where'd you say you found it?
or,
It looks familiar. Where'd you get it? I know someone who'd paid 1,000 Neopoints for that locket, though.
After going to each carny, Gilly concludes that none of them are helpful and goes to Sophie the Swamp Witch instead. I mean, what was she expecting from a group of carnies? Of course they are going to unload you of a few Neopoints in exchange for quote-unquote information, whether they have any or not. For the Wizards of the Coast Tale of Woe TCG set, Leroy did make it onto a card called Coconut Shy, with the flavor text,
Rigged? This game is as honest as the day is long.
Okay, so since we're talking about coconuts this episode, I have some fun facts that you will go cocoa nuts for, but Number 1. The term coconut is derived from the 16th century Portuguese and Spanish word coco, meaning head or skull, because if you look at a coconut, you'll see that they have 3 indentations that resemble facial features. Number 2. During World War II, due to not having enough blood plasma available, coconut water was used as an IV drip. It has also been used in remote areas of the world where there is a lack of medical access. It's not your best option, but if your choices are coconut water or nothing, it's the better option. Number 3. Coconut fibers have been woven over the centuries to construct armor, such as on the Kiribati Islands. The armor is simply stunning and intricate, so give it a quick Google search. And at number 4, the husk of a coconut can be burned to act as a natural mosquito repellent, so as we head into the heart of summer, keep that in mind. Speaking of coconuts, there are 3 particularly fascinating Neopet coconut items. We have the Coconut Shy Kit. Description: you can set up your own coconut shy with this set. In the image, there's a broken coconut with lead balls spilling out of it. So it seems Leroy doesn't just nail them to the post, but is also weighing them down. There's the Coconut Shy Outdoor Playset. Description: try to get that Quiggle to respect you by practicing your aim with your very own coconut shy. And the Mr. Coconut Cradle Desk Toy. Description: a soothing sound to drift off to sleep to for a quick midday nap. Good night, Mr. Coconut. Mr. Coconut, who on earth is that? You might be thinking. Well, what a great question and segue. Mr. Coconut is a Neopian meme, and as with most memes, there's really not much to it, but it took Neopia by storm. There were references in the caption contests, on the boards, him being implemented in Neopian Times comics and stories, and even a shopkeeper was created called Mr. Coconut Screaming. What sparked this was back in the year of 2010, a question was posed to the editorial. Hello TNT, I was wondering, how do you guys choose the captions that go into the contest? Do you actually go through all of them and pick the best, or is it random? Their response: we look through as many as we can within the time allotted for that particular task, which is several hours. If we picked randomly, you'd know it pretty quick. As an example, this is always fun, we went through and did randomly select 5 captions from the competition number 1107. Here are the results. Side note, as context, the picture is of a fancily dressed hissy being hit on the head with a coconut and an equally dapper loop being outright aghast at the sight. Okay, back to it. Ah, Mr. Snecky, I see you are wearing your fancy top. You are wearing yours too, Mr. Coconut. Speaking of coconut, where did you get your new flying hat of coconut? What coconut? Oh, that coconut near my head. What? A coconut on my head? Boom! Ah, my head! Good night, Mr. Coconut! 12:30 p.m. TNT concluded the statement by saying, as you can see, while amusing in their own bizarre way, they are a bit, nonsensical. I often wonder about the user who created this caption. Did they know it had become a meme? Are they doing well? Are they now an adult with family and kids? Do they reminisce on the glory they had but lack of recognition? Or do they live in ignorant bliss of the impact of their profound art? The final line of the caption, "Good night, Mr. Coconut," became a running gag and received the persona of the wailing evil coconut. The opening, "Ah, Mr. Snicky, I see you are wearing your fancy top," was also fairly popular, and a wearable item called Fancy Top was created. The meme is not as prevalent today, but it occasionally makes a reappearance. I'm feeling a lot of nostalgia recently. Could you end this editorial with Mr. Coconut for old time's sake? Thanks. Got you. Good night! Well, that's all for this episode of Neopian Lore. All characters and licensing belong to Neopets.com. Music was created by me, Krista. Today's composition is called I've Got a Lovely Mr. Coconut. I hope you have a lovely day in Neopia.